Hello, and welcome back to Riding with Witches. We're two very cold witches because it is in single digits or close to single digits weather.
Yeah,
And one of them is sitting in a stupid basement. Sit and talk about
unfortunately.
riding.
Yeah. We're
So,
freezing a little bit here today.
so yeah, if you're actually watching this video, you know okay. My name's Leona Urbanski. I'm a debut author with my book Fire Magic coming out in April of this year. Currently sitting in a blanket with a blanket around my shoulders, on my lap, a cup of hot cider, hand mitts, and a radiator heater sitting next to me. My co-host.
And I just want to note for the people that are not watching, she is also currently wearing a sweater that says, "Yes, I'm cold. I'm always cold. Me, 24/7." Anyways, I am Nicole Autumn. I am the author of the Secret Society series that had finally released in January. That is now fully out. So, yeah.
We're all very excited.
Yes.
Still. And we're all very proud of you.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes, and if you've watched this podcast before, you might notice that she has a new piece of art hanging behind her. It's been there for a couple of weeks now, but it's all of the 4 covers of her books put together.
Yeah.
So
my husband
very nice.
Gifted it to me once I released Unveiled. He bought me, like, he wanted to get a plaque, but the plaque was going to be like crazy expensive. So he was like, "This is what I got you. Congratulations. I'm so proud." And I love it. So
a plaque would have been sick.
It would have been, and it was like it was like a plaque in the form, like a shape of a book. And I was like, "Oh, that would have been cool." And he's like, "It would have been, but it would have been like close to almost $200." Like, and I'm like, "That's fair.
That's fair.
That's fair. I'm not mad at you. It would have been sick, but you know, $200 is a lot." So I wasn't mad.
Go buy me a cake instead.
Yeah, he did. He bought me a cake. So I can't be mad. I got a cake and a cool present out of it.
Yeah, no, hey, definitely. Agreed.
Yeah.
So, real quick, before we dive into this episode, do you have any other book news besides your cool present and the cake?
That as of now, I am now cycling between mainly 2 manuscripts, but I have on the roster 4 first drafts that I am kind of picking back and forth between, but mainly 2 that have really just caught my attention. So that's been fun. The working titles are still up in the air.
That's fair.
Yeah. Any book news for you?
I just created a playlist for Fire Magic that I need to make public for people so that maybe we can link it if people want to listen to it. This is not a listen as you read playlist. This is the vibes of the book playlist.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So don't expect, any specific scenes to be set to specific songs. This is just like, these are the vibes.
Yeah, for sure.
Alrighty. So after that fun, happy moment of time that is no longer on the recording.
Technical difficulties.
Technical difficulties. So yeah, playlist for Fire Magic I will make public, and I'm halfway through Fey Touched. Yeah, and that's all my book news.
that's all my book news. So this is what, almost the end of February. So we're getting much closer to release date for you. Are you excited?
Da, 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 da.
Words. They're hard.
Words are hard. I'm getting a little nervous because I still don't have a few things set up for it, which is my own fault. I take on too much and stuff gets pushed to the back burners, and I need to own up to that. But once I have this next hurdle taken care of and I can start moving forward with Ingram Sparks, then I'm going to feel a lot better about it.
Yeah.
So,
It's,
behind the scenes shit.
yep. There's always something going on.
Yeah. So, yeah. Nervous, a little frustrated with myself, but I mean, that's my life.
Yeah. Yeah. So should we jump into this week's episode?
Yes, and I don't remember if I actually said what we were talking about because I was so cold.
I don't think you did.
So, what we are continuing on with the world building mini series, and today we're talking about, because we are both fantasy authors, magic systems. Which, you
Yes.
know, if you're writing a contemporary romance novel, you're probably not going to be that interested in it, but you never know. So, maybe you decide to put magic into your novel. Could be fun.
Yeah. Urban fantasy.
There you go. Make it urban
Yeah.
fantasy. It's always
Yeah.
worth it. Always.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like we have pages upon pages upon pages of notes about magic systems or anything.
Oh no, definitely not. Definitely not.
Mm-hmm.
So, like Leona said, we are diving into magic systems in world building. Um, and one of the first things you're going to have to figure out is the types of magic that you want, even in your world. And there is a whole host of magics. First being, you can really tie into using elements. That is often used. It's kind of like a go-to because pretty much every fantasy novel you're going to have fire, water, earth, air. So it's pretty standard and you could use it across the board in most worlds, unless you're going like sci-fi, like I don't know how the planets work there. But fantasy, those four things are typically always there. So elemental magic is always a good standby to consider.
I mean, I am 100% with that because I literally, elementalism is a main school of magic in fire magic. So,
Jumping into we've had a lot of technical difficulties this episode.
yes, yes, we have.
You know, the fun times of trying to record when it's, you know, record low temperatures and there's snow on the ground and the internet is not too happy about it. Um anyways, building your magic system. One of the first things you are going to want to figure out is what type of magic is going to be in your world. One of the first ones, which can be used pretty much across the board, is elemental magic. Most fantasy worlds are going to have some form of earth, water, fire, and air. So that is one of your go-tos if you aren't wanting to come up with this whole new concept for magic that pretty much any fantasy novel can rely on.
I mean, yeah, just I can't say a word since elementalism is literally one of the primary schools of magic and the magic school that the main character is a part of in fire magic. So there's that.
Yeah. I mean, it's an easy thing to go to because it can be used in many fantasy worlds. So, it like I said, it tends to be a go-to magic system.
Yeah, it's very easy for the human brain to comprehend because it's so ingrained. And not even necessarily the four elemental magic system. Maybe it's the three elemental magic system or a five elemental magic system, with metal being often the fifth or spirit being the fifth.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, be careful where you are drawing some of these correlations from. as some of that can border on cultural appropriation a little bit. But for the most part, you're safe in, the four elemental magic system is pretty standard go to there.
Yeah. Another type would be more so along the lines of like mental magic. So things like telepathy or what's the one where you can like move things with your head? Telekinesis?
Telekinetic, empathy, telepathy, psychic, foretelling or portent or omens
Yeah.
is often classified under the mental. So
Seers
there's
would
a lot
also
of
be another one. Yeah.
seers.
So those could all, I mean, not every fantasy novel will have that in there. But if you decide to pull those in, that could add some more detail to your world of different types of magics besides just using elemental to, spice up your fantasy world and give your characters some fun, spicy powers.
And a lot of times you are also going to be, if you're in a sci-fi novel, is a lot of times we're also going to see a lot of these mental capabilities as well, because that is something that is often viewed as something that we have the potential for that has yet to be unlocked, or so people say. Just depends on your point of view, I guess. Um, but I know there's a lot of mental Anne McCaffrey's Rowan series was big on that one, and it was set in space, but it was people with telekinesis and telepathy were the ones that kind of moved the spaceships.
Oh, that's crazy. Talk about a
It's a really
headache.
good series. Right?
That
No
is
kidding.
that's where my mind instantly went was, oh my god, moving a ship through space. What a headache. Literally.
Yeah.
And speaking
So,
of space, you can have, characters that use magic that warps time or space. So this would be something you would probably likely see in sci-fi, or this I would say would even be portals in a way, because using portal magic, you are somehow manipulating space and time to get places like that. So that's another thing that you could include into your fantasy novels.
and I know some of the other popular examples of time magic. Curse her name. I'm not going to actually say it, but the time turner in that Hermione used in the
Mm,
second or third book of the series, I believe.
yeah.
And I have not read the series, but my understanding is that Violet Sorrengen from the Fourth Wing series has time powers.
Oh,
My
uh,
understanding is that she does.
she can freeze time.
Freeze
That's
time.
yeah. Um, yeah. So that's, and I only know that not because I've read it, but my husband read it, and he became a little bit of a fourth wing. Uh, got a little obsessed with it for a hot minute, and then he read Iron Flame and he got pissed and he DNF'd it at 30%. So
Nicely done.
yes.
Another one in pop culture, which is probably a little older. I'm going to date myself a little bit with this one, but the original Charmed series, Piper,
Yep.
um, Hallowell did the time freeze as well. So
Yeah. She was able to do that, and then um another one, if you want to go more sci-fi, Doctor Who. Him and his, the TARDIS, they manipulate time and space all the time. Granted, he won't say it's magic, he'll just say it's science. But that is a form of maybe magic for us because we don't know how the hell it works, so it's magic. Him,
yeah.
science.
I mean, I'm kind of the person of the opinion of what is magic that is just science that hasn't been explained yet. So
Agreed.
that's just how I look at it.
Yeah. I mean, let's be real. The things that we have now, if people saw it 300 years ago, witchcraft, magic, we're all hell spawns. So, So yeah, I would agree that it's just science that hasn't been explained yet.
Yeah.
One that is very fun is life and death magic. This one is fun.
Fun one. A fun
This
one.
is a fun one. Having characters that are able to manipulate life and death of other characters in your world is definitely something that really can spice up your writing and outcomes if, they're able to just take someone's life at the snap of a finger, or at the whisper of a spell. That's always fun.
Um, the anime Death Note
Yeah,
was one of those that had the death magic. Was it? I never watched the anime, so my understanding is he wrote the name in a book and then that person died, was my understanding of it.
that's from
Um,
all I know too, to be fair.
but I know there was also an episode in the Supernatural TV series where it was life and death magic because the false preacher was taking life from one person and giving it to another. 'Cause that's how Dean got saved one time.
Yeah, I could go into that because I had just recently watched that episode. It was someone who had, if you haven't seen it, I'm so sorry I'm going to spoil it for you, but it has been out for, over 15 years now. Someone had used magic to basically put a leash on a reaper and was able to basically take one person's life and give it to another who they felt weren't worthy of life.
Worthy.
Yeah, worthy. Yeah. So that's a interesting take. And then, what was the other one I had thought of, but it slipped from my mind.
I said supernatural and it left.
Yep, Supernatural, and my brain went on a whole left tangent because I am a huge Supernatural fan. I've watched it since I think 2016 when I had my son, and now my oldest daughter is getting into it. So we're rewatching everything right now.
Well, and if you're looking to do fantasy world, Supernatural is a good resource. They go into until they really start digging into the heaven and hell stuff, and the first couple of seasons, which was more the local folklore, monster of the week type thing,
Yeah.
they have a lot of different stuff come up, which is really gives you some inspiration. I would go a little deeper into your research, but let that be your inspiration.
Yeah. It could definitely point you in the direction of certain types of magic or monsters, folklore. Because in the beginning, there is a lot of folklore that they bring up in those first couple seasons before, it starts heading down the bigger plot line that goes over multiple seasons. But yeah, that could be a fun place to look for magic inspiration for sure.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think if there's.
Sorry, tangent.
No, you're fine. I'm trying to think if there's anything where life magic is a thing. I guess.
In my world, life magic is a thing through the life plane, but I haven't really explored that yet.
Yeah. The only other thing that I can think of, I mean, this is more death magic, but, your necromancers would fall under that. Healers are technically using life magic because they are healing people to bring life. So, there's another branch that you could take. You could have your necromancers and your healers. And how capable are they of wielding that magic? So, that's another one that you can add. One that I don't see as often is magic that literally can alter reality. I'm sure it's out there. I just haven't read about it. But, magic where it isn't just conjuring things into being, but shaping someone's reality around them. Which is funny because I just watched Supernatural with the Jinn episode. And that is literally changing the reality.
You have read it. You just didn't care for it, so you forgot about it because in A Court of Thorns and Roses, Tamlin actually does alter reality around Feyre's family after she leaves to go to his palace.
That's right. He does do that.
Yep.
Dang.
So
Man, if she would have wrote
I
it
know,
better, I
right?
probably would have remembered.
Ouch.
So sorry.
Okay. No, no, that was your opinion. I respect it.
That it was a that was a rough opinion. I'm sorry, but it was not. I just felt like it was overrated, and I still can't get over the watery bowels. That poor girl being illiterate and having IBS is just so sad.
I mean, she got hit with the double eyes. What can I say?
Oh,
That was a
jeez,
really
yeah.
bad joke. I'm sorry.
Oh man.
I'm gonna edit that out.
Yeah, that comment about me saying she may have write it better might that might have someone coming for us. Was there anything else you could think of for altering reality? Because you are far more well read
Well,
than I
like you
am.
said, I've uh, like you said, I think people tend to steer away from it because it is such a powerful. The best example that I could think of is a book that I haven't actually read yet. I don't know if it's a book that exists, but it could be the form of an unreliable narrator of. Oh, no, wait, it does exist. That's why I thought of it. It's Shannon McGuire's. Hang
Something.
on, hang on. I got to get you the name of it because it's exactly what we're talking about. It's altering reality. Um,
I have two movie
what is
examples that I can think of, but I don't know of any book
Go for it.
examples. So
Go for the movie examples while I do this.
two movie examples of this would be Interstellar, where they set it up in a way that where he's at in space is interacting with like where his daughter's at, so it is in a way altering her reality because of space and time and stuff. And then the other big one is Inception. It's like a dream within a dream within a dream type situation where it is completely like you don't know what's real or what's fake because everything is such in an altered state. So those are the only two that I can think of in terms of like movies right offhand. But I don't know any books. Shannon McGuire's.
Middle Game is the
Okay.
name of it. And it is a thick book. It is an intense, heavy book because it is dealing with that heavy aspect of altering reality. She takes it extremely seriously. And it's really, really good book. And it's the start of a series called Alchemical Journeys. I will be frank, I love Shannon McGuire. I could not continue that series because it was so heavy and it was
Yeah.
so intense. And I'm just like, I can't handle that.
It's like
So
mind
that's
breaking.
just my personal opinion. Yeah, like literally mind breaking. Is what it is. So, um, but if you are up for that kind of thing, highly suggest giving it a try. It's an extremely good book. I gave it a 5 stars. Wait, no, I gave it a 4 stars. Probably because it was too heavy for me.
You were probably like, this is intense.
Yeah. So yeah. But yeah, it literally deals with the aspects of altering reality and the consequences of altering reality. So
Wouldn't Black Mirror also be considered one of those like altering reality situations?
I consider that more as like possible realities versus altering realities.
Okay. I'm not sure because I'll be
But
honest,
I
I've
could be wrong.
never watched it.
I've watched the first few episodes, and for those of you who have watched Black Mirror, I I remember the pig episode. Don't watch it.
I
It's
was gonna say, just you saying that makes me not want to watch it.
don't like the other episodes I got through and I was okay with it. Ooh, the pig episode, man. Yeah,
Ew. I don't know. I
yeah.
don't even have
I'm
to
not
watch
gonna
it.
go
I
into
just have
it.
a feeling it's gonna be yucky. um.
Alrighty,
Yeah. Moving on.
moving on.
Yeah. So now that you've kind of figured out how this magic's what you're going what mag oh words. Now that you've decided
Hard.
words are hard. Now that you've decided what kind of magic you want in your world, you have to start understanding, okay, where does this power come from? Is this something that is a curse? Right? Magic can be a curse in some realities that you don't want to have magic. And there are plenty of books where having magic is looked down upon, and it is seen as a curse. So, did your magic system actually stem from a legitimate curse on some one or whatever? So, that is an option for a source of power for your magic systems.
I mean, you might have the curse hanging out in there with magic without them necessarily being directly connected. And the one I'm thinking of is practical magic. The curse was a product of their magic, but it does not directly interfere with their magic. It is just,
Yeah.
it interferes with their lives, but it doesn't directly interfere with their magic. So,
I
something
think
to think about.
one that would be a good example of this. Oh shoot, I can't remember the name of it's a movie, and it was basically every time a girl turns a certain age, light or dark claims them. Like they have no say. It just one side or the other claims who they are, and it is kind of seen as a curse because they have no say in it, and they have to kind of fight the draw of either side. Oh, I wish I knew what it was called. And it's all based in like a real southern. Oh, like they are deep south.
I'm looking it up. Seeing if I can get it.
Oh, man.
Beautiful creatures?
That one. Yeah.
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 And
So
it's also
that
a novel.
one, that could be, it was a novel.
Hmm.
Okay. I'll have to read it. But yeah,
I
that, what were you going to say?
It's by Cami Garcia and Margaret Stoll. It's a
Okay.
series.
Oh, sweet.
Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good because I needed the name. But that is a good example of your people that do have magic essentially being cursed. And it kind of runs along their family. So that is a good example of that one.
And yeah, that's I'm sure there are out there. I have not personally read any that come to mind with having the magic coming from a curse. So,
Yeah. I mean, if you want to go vampires, they have magic in there technically. Came
yeah,
from a curse of being a witch.
curse.
Or a witch cursed
That's
them.
true.
In some lore.
Manner or fashion. Yeah.
Yeah. Another source of power, it could be drawn on bloodlines. So maybe it's magic that has been passed down from ancestor to ancestor through a family line as your source of power. I'm sorry. My cat just attacked his cat tree out of nowhere and is just absolutely going bananas. And it caught me off guard. I'm sorry.
I heard a little tinkle tinkle like a bell and I was wondering what that was.
Yeah, he just like straight because his has like a little pole and a little like platform, and he just like wrapped himself around the pole. Yeah. So sorry. We're just tangents today. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, yeah, it's fine. Yeah. Uh, what's the next one? Bloodline.
Yeah,
So practical magic comes to mind again because
yeah,
it's also kind of goes with the next one, the matriarchal coming down. The so does Charmed, the
yeah.
original. So I have not watched the reboot of Charmed, so I can't speak to that one. I've only seen the original.
It's not as
Um,
good in the original, in my opinion.
I'll take your word for it. I don't have time to watch it.
I just felt like, I mean, I just felt like the acting was a little over exaggerated for my taste.
That's fair. Um, to be fair though, the original Charmed is hard to beat when they got it good.
Oh yeah, yeah. When it was good, it was real
So
good.
it was real good.
Yeah.
It had its moments. Anyway,
So
yes, two witches who love Charmed. Go figure.
imagine that. Practical Magic is also my freaking favorite. I could watch that on repeat. But like Leona said, there is also a matriarchal or patriarchal type line where magic can be passed down from only one side or one gender, I guess, and it being passed down from male to male or female to female. Um, you don't have to do that if you want to be inclusive. That is entirely up to you. But that is a form of magic that you can choose to use. Um, the other one is just random draw. You're born with it. It's like no one can choose to have it. It's not down through bloodlines. It's just luck of the frickin' draw. Something aligned in the stars when you were born, and boom, you're magical.
Yep,
Yeah,
that is fire magic. That's why they're called Mageborn.
yeah. See, in mine, it tends to run down female lines. Not, I don't know why, but that just happened. It was just like it just got passed down from mother to daughter. I don't know. Maybe it was because I was just watching a lot of Practical Magic.
I mean, it might have influenced you just a little bit.
just a smidgen. Um, but with all my stuff being in the same multiverse, I now have a story that I'm writing, and it's about a rare male necromancer. So just threw a monkey wrench in the magic system there. I was just like, okay, we're going with it. So
I'm trying to think because and a third one might also be coming from outside sources. Because in Fey Touched with the Were Shifters, their magic is drawn from the moon.
okay,
So it could also be coming. They know how to utilize outside sources of magic.
yeah.
Maybe they're not
Or
inherently born with it.
another thing is maybe they go through a ritual to gain magic. That is something that can also come up as anyone that goes through trials, I guess, or some type of test, or my first thought trials because it's everywhere. Um, Maybe they have to go through some rigorous test or schooling or a hero's journey type situation to gain magic. That is an option too. And then you can decide who gives them that magic. Is it a god, a goddess? Is it come from the earth? Is it the moon? So you can get real creative with your magic systems and where your sources of magic comes from.
If you want further inspiration too, D&D classes. I mean, they have the warlock, they have the wizard, they have the sorcerer, they have the druid. I mean, they're drawing from all different types and sources of magic. So maybe that's something that you could draw on because these are all fairly common themes of magic. So as long as you're not directly saying this is from the D&D class wizard, you're fine.
Yeah, I wouldn't go throwing that out. You may have a lawsuit on your hands if you're not careful.
Right.
Um,
But they are based on the stereotypes, cliches of magic users and the stories and legends about them. So they all have their origin in something else too. So just saying.
yeah, and that's fair. That's a very good point. Using that as kind of like a guideline, essentially, not copying, but it's a rough guideline to start to build things off of. It's a good tip.
Since you brought
Um,
up Hero's Journey, as Joseph Campbell said, there's only so many types of stories you can tell. It's how you tell the story.
yeah, that is very true.
Yes.
Um, so that would bring us to our witchy tip for the night. And that I'm going to hand over to Leona.
Because I'm the druid.
Yes.
Uh, so that's what we're talking about a little bit tonight. I think I've stated before on this podcast that I am a druid as well as a witch. Um, and I'm gonna link these below as well. But just so you know where I'm drawing this information from, I do two main resources, which I know I've talked about in the resources episode, but the Druidry Handbook by John Michael Greer and the Book of Hedge Druidry by Joanna van der Hoeven. Um, are my main two sources. I don't restrict myself to these sources, but they are where I look first and get inspiration for on where to look for next for whatever information I'm hunting down. And the thing that I'm going to talk about is called the Awen. It's spelled Awen. And it's an important focal point for druids because it's kind of our energy. It's not our magic. I'm not going to say it's our magic, but it's our energy. And the simplest way to describe it is it's our inspiration. It's the energy around us. It's what helps us form relationships with things, interpret things through the world, inspire us to do things. And the common symbol that you're going to see with the Awen is three lines closer at the top and spreading apart as they go
Mm-hmm.
down. There's a couple different interpretations of this. Mainly, you're going to see this symbol used in modern druidry, though. So it's not something that we brought with us from the ancient druids. This was something that was brought up in modern druidry. Um, it is inspired by the ancient druidry, but it's not from. The Awen is. The Awen itself, that concept is from druidry as much as we could remember about it. The symbol though is modern. And that kind of ties into the druids. I'm not going to say worldview, but kind of one of their filters is that things come in threes. And I know a lot of people say this about Wicca, and I am
Yeah.
not a Wiccan, so I don't know. If you ever hear me talk about things in threes, it's coming from the druidry side of things. Um, so this like the three rays of light, um, the three types of moon phases, or not moon phases, equinoxes, solstices, and in between, past, present, future. Druidry recognizes three elements: sky, earth, and sea. So, but the Awen itself is our energy, our inspiration around us. There's really no easy comparison to bring up with it in witchcraft because witchcraft is so varied and there's no set in stone guidelines there because it is very much a do it yourself, go with your own intuition. Druidry has a few more guidelines, a few more things that are set to help you, especially if you're going to modern Druidry, which is where these two books are coming from. But yeah, if you're ever interested in Druidry, the thing that I would look up first about it is about the Awen, Awen, and kind of read about it, see how that relates to how you're feeling about the world around you. My cat woke up. Um,
You
I
just
saw
see a
his
little
tail out of the
tail.
corner of my eye. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, you woke up when I was talking about druidry? Really?
He's like, you
Glared at me.
called?
Anyway, this is my cat, um, so yeah, that's something that I would look into before you really kind of explore into druidry, or if that's something you're seriously thinking about. Because it's one of the things that's also tying you to the world around you. It's the inspiration. It's a lot of things.
Would it
It could be just the energy around you and around things. So
so would that kind of be like auras, or is it more in depth than that?
I have always considered it a little more in depth than that. It's a
Okay.
little deeper than auras to me, because it's what it gives the potential to create relationships, which to
Okay.
me goes beyond auras.
Yeah.
So
Okay. That's interesting.
it's a hard concept to fit into 5 minutes, so I'm not even gonna try. Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'll try and remember to link the two books that I'm referencing right now. Like I have bookmarks in them. Uh, um, that I always go back to because those are the two books I go back to for jewelry.
Nice. Well, it definitely gives
That's all I have.
the listeners or watchers something to look into if they're interested in it. So, which is what we're here
It's a
for.
fascinating subject. Exactly. Totally. It's all we're here for.
Yeah. Um so, jumping back into magic systems. When making magic systems, yes, it's a magic system. Um but when it comes to that, it needs to be a little believable. Um it needs to make some sense. So, a lot of the times, magic comes with a price, and that has been a phrase that has been used time and time again across all kinds of books and movies and stories. That magic comes with a price, so there has to be some sort of sacrifice when using magic. Um, I know yours can draw from your soul, which can affect a mage. Mine tends to draw more off of their physical strength. So using magic after a while, you get tired. You feel depleted, fatigued. It wears on your body because you are using the magic just you already have, but you're only going to have a limited source. Like you are not a god. You know what I mean? So finding something that they can pull on, but there is also some type of physical, mental, some type of consequence for using it. Just, or everyone's just going to be going nuts while doing whatever the hell they want all the time. Be crazy. Madness.
Heat as hell.
Yeah.
So speaking of madness, that's actually the price of magic in my world. Um, it will it will if you push yourself past the point of what they call your magic well, well, then you start clawing through the wall that separates your magic from your soul and your life force, which are intrinsically connected. The more you draw on your life force, the more you die.
Yeah.
So, that's why I do reference it a few times when Brenna almost collapses because she's drawing on her life force instead of her magic well.
Mm.
And if you push past that far enough, you go insane.
Yeah.
Just straight up bonkers. Like
Yeah.
lethal insane.
And I mean, even mine, when it came to Amy using her demon powers, Roland even tells her, like, hey, if you go too deep, you can drive yourself insane, mentally insane. Um, because you are just drawing on that darkness and it can just kind of eat away at you. So those are two examples that we have used. that it can really, there are consequences for using your magic past what it should be used as. Um, but then there could also be external consequences. Say using magic starts, messing with the world around you in ways you didn't expect, right? And I know there are some good examples in fire magic where using magic has, or not using it and or not using it has consequences in the world around you that could also be a consequence in your magic systems.
Yeah, because the Deadlands are from opening a gate to the Death Plane, which literally sucked all of the life out of that area. 100 years later, still nothing grows there. There's no water there. It's a dry, arid desert, a true desert where nothing grows. Um, but you also see the consequence of not using magic in the Duchy of Charon, where the Duchess refuses to allow elementalists or sorcerers to come onto the land, and that has disrupted the land because the elementalists are not there to help keep an even balance between the elements. So
Yeah.
yeah, you see it both ways in my world, I guess. I never thought about it that way, but yeah, you see
Yeah.
there's magic as a balancer. It's the fulcrum.
Yeah. It is the scale balancer in your world. Um, Also, you see it in, like, a good example, any type of someone summoning something, using their magic to summon something, and that wreaks havoc on the world. That is an external consequence that is not directly internal. It is affecting you and other people around you in the world that you live in. Um, so those are something that you can consider. Like, do you even want that? I mean, you could not choose to, but then there really is no consequences for magic at all. And in life, everything you do, for every action, there is a reaction. So when it comes to magic, it would only make sense that using it would have some type of tipping scale, so to speak. Um, yeah. Wasn't sure if you had anything else to add on that one.
No, sorry, I got distracted because my door just went eek eek. Uh,
Was it your cat? He's like, let me out.
no, no, it was my daughter.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
she's like, "What are you doing up here?"
Hello.
Yeah, pretty much. No, I mean that, like you said, for every action, there's a reaction, and that's not even talking to members of the science magic community. That's talking to you people in science. That's one of your laws, man.
Yeah, that is your sci-fi friends, Like that's your jam. But that's kind of how it works.
Yeah, exactly.
um
So
so I also said earlier that even though it's magic, there needs to be some logic to it. If someone uses magic and say you decide it does deplete their energy, they're fatigued, it's going to be hard to believe that if, say, you have them fighting this long battle throughout the day, they're getting chased, they don't rest, they're struggling, like just in the fight, if they're fighting with magic multiple days, it's going to be hard to believe that rule that you've created makes sense. Because eventually they should be collapsing, or they should be exhausted. They shouldn't be able to go on. So when you start setting your rules in your world, stick with them. Because if you start breaking them, your magic system's going to fall apart. So in that sense, you got to have some logic there. Don't make rules that you break.
those are what we call plot holes because you fall down.
Yeah. And your magic system just crumples with it. Yeah. So just make sure as you're setting these rules for yourself that it makes sense throughout your book and you don't miss it.
And speaking on that, you don't have to sit there and explicitly state what these rules are to the reader. so long as you know what they are and you're having your characters act consistently what they are, your readers are going to pick up that pattern recognition. They're going to understand that there are rules and they're going to start to pick up on what the rules are. Like after a long fight, if the characters are tired because they expended a lot of magical energy, like, oh, that makes sense. And that's going to continue on like that. So you you have your rules clear and defined for you. That doesn't mean you have to give like a
Yeah.
declaration in your book.
Hear ye, this is how the magic works in this world. Yeah, maybe not that. But yeah, I'm trying to think of a good example of an author creating magic rules, but then breaks them in a way that doesn't make sense. And I can't really think of any right offhand.
Not any that have stuck in my brain.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm grasping for something, but there's nothing there. I'm grasping in an empty bag, I guess. So I guess most people stick with their magic system rules.
The ones that we remember.
Yeah, for the ones we remember. Um, let's see. So another thing, it took me a minute to figure out where I was at on the outline. How is magic going to be perceived in your world? This can really change the way you're going to write your story. So, is magic honored in your world? Do these people rule? Are they given special privileges where they are, I don't know, somewhere high up in society advising kings, or they are the rulers because they have this divine given gift of magic? So that can really change the outcome of how people perceive your characters if they have magic.
I don't do that very often. Out of the many manuscripts that I have written, the only one that comes to mind is branded. I I don't honor my magic users very often.
Down with the magic users.
And there's a reason a song called Witch Hunter is on the playlist. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Which, on to the next one, is, are they persecuted? Are they...
Here's where I'm at.
That's where you're at. Are they actively looked down upon, or is it people are aggressive or violent towards them? There's a scale here, where is it just, they kind of get the side eye and they're looked down upon, or are people like spitting on them? Are they actively hunting them down when they see them because they're, scum of the earth type situation?
I actually have an interesting discordant example of this, and it's in my Shadow Princess book. And magic is normal and common and known in this world, in the underground kingdom of shadows, at least. However, the main character, her magic is so powerful that she's feared.
Yeah.
And so that is how she is shunned and persecuted, is because she is so feared, even though you would think they would honor her for the power that she has. So there's a
Yeah.
fun twist on that.
Yeah. And fire magic, they don't get a good rap in that book.
Do
It's
not.
they're not having a fun time.
They are not happy campers.
No, they're not. It's not fun. And a third option is that the magic is completely hidden. This is more so kind of along the lines of my book, is magic is, one, handed down from like matriarchal lines, but you don't just perform magic out in the open. Like, it's part of a secret society. They work in secret. In a way, supernatural is kind of also one of those things where it is hidden. Not everyone knows about it, and when they do find it, they try to get rid of it. So you can then decide, is the magic being kept hidden because it's just a choice that they want to stay hidden? Or is it because they're afraid of the societal or world impact of what magic brings to the world and what it could do? Like, if magic was real, like we see in books on our world, I think people would absolutely lose their literal shit. And it would probably be hidden. Like, I don't think people would just come out and be like, yeah, I can, burst fire from my hands. People would lose their bananas so fast. So, hidden magic is also another option.
Which can also be along the same lines of the persecuted magic. Maybe because they're persecuted, they're hiding their magic. So
That
you
true.
don't have to narrow it down to just one thing.
Mm-hmm.
So be free.
Yeah, I mean, you could do one, you could do several. Like maybe one branch of magic is honored and the other is persecuted, or some stay hidden because of persecution, or you can do a mixed bag here. This is just different ways that the world can perceive magic users.
Yeah.
I don't think there was any other ones.
Not that I can think of
Yeah.
right now, anyway.
Well, if you guys know, drop it down below so we can know.
Yeah, let us know. We'll talk about it.
We can. We will talk about it. Um, which I believe that would bring us to book reviews. And unfortunately, I don't have a book
Oh,
review because my kids have been out of school all week because of snow. I haven't had a silent minute since last Friday.
that is fair. That is fair.
I've been trying to
Um,
read, but it's
hmm,
mainly at night, and half the time I'm falling asleep with a book hitting my face. So, yeah.
you're gonna hate me.
Oh no. Oh no.
Um, so I might have four.
Oh, geez. Go for it. Go nuts. Go
I'm
crazy.
not gonna go, not gonna go into detail on all of them. I'm gonna just okay. I'm a horse girl. I think we've established this already. You all know this. I loved the movie Spirits Down at the Cimarron when it came out. And what I didn't know at the time, that I only found out like a month ago, is they had a little 4-book series written off of it,
Oh, that's cool.
exploring stories outside of the actual movie. Um, so real quick, the first one was called Bonita, and it is about a mayor that is turned loose during the Battle of the Alamo in Texas and ends up being um, Rain, the paint mayor's grand dam. And then the next one in that is Sierra, who is Bonita's daughter and Rain's mother, and her story about how she got separated from her mother. Third one, Esperanza, is about Spirit's parents, which was
Oh.
really fun to read about. And then the last one was actually Spirit, and it's basically a novelization of the movie.
Oh, nice.
So these were all written by the same author, Kathleen Dewey. These are all middle grade. This is why I have four of them. None of them were more than a little over 100 pages long. These were novellas for me, basically.
Yeah.
But they were all really well written. And to me, they kept with the spirit of the movie. The only dialogue in these books was from humans,
Oh.
right? So I actually really enjoyed it for that aspect because it like I think in Esperanza she never encounters humans. So I don't think there's any quotation marks in this book
Oh, wow. So it's like all
because there's no
internal.
dialogue. Uh-huh. It's
Wow.
all description and internal and all of that. So it was actually I love they kept to the spirit of the movie. I love how it bounced back and forth. Like it started with Bonita, who was a tame horse who went feral, to Sierra, who was a Mustang who was tamed by the Native Americans, to two completely wild Mustangs that never encountered humans, to Spirit,
Yeah.
who we've if you've seen the movie, you know what happens. I'm not going to go through it. So it's just a really the artwork is also beautiful. I love the artwork. Um, I always love the artwork when it's horses anyway, when it's well done.
Yeah. Not the stick figure horses.
Not the stick figure horses. But yeah, if you enjoyed the movie Spirit, Stallion of the Cimarron, I went on a library kick. I found all four of these. I had to go through two different libraries to get all four, to be fair. But I did find all four of them at my local libraries. So I'm sure there's libraries out there that you can find them at. Um, yeah, Kathleen Dewey, Duey. She's good author, kept to the spirit of the movies with all four books. You're gonna see a few middle grade YA books from me over the next couple of weeks because I was finishing up a couple of series um, that I have been working on for a while. So I'm very happy I'm finishing up these series.
Yeah.
It's taken a minute. Uh, so yeah, the Spirit Stallion of the Cimarron books by Kathleen Dewey. Four of them total. If there's more of them out there and you know about them, please let me know. I will go find it and I will read it.
Yeah. I mean, that's really cool though that they have like books featuring other horses within that world. That's awesome.
But yeah, the one that I really liked the most was the Esperanza. I'm going to see if I can get it so you can actually see the art on this. I think they
That's
did a
really
really good
pretty.
job. So yeah, that's his mother and his father together.
Horses are so
They're also
majestic.
cute. They're cute little love stories. I mean, they are middle grade. There's no horse smut, thank God.
Ew.
Um, yeah.
I like smut, but not when it involves animals. Weird.
But it is cute little love stories between the horses but while still being realistic between the horses and how horses show affection
Nose
and
nuzzles.
that kind of thing. So, yeah, exactly.
Cute
You're not
stuff.
wrong. Cute stuff. So,
Yeah. Well, next episode I'll have a book review.
okay. You know where I know you'll have a book review?
Why?
The next Wheel of Time episode.
That one, yes. I think I'm sitting I want to say I'm like either I just finished chapter 29 or I'm like starting like into 30. I'm not entirely sure. I definitely have to check.
I think I finished chapter 30 last night.
Okay.
So
I'll have to double check my
we are
Audible.
still on track,
Yes.
guys, for another Wheel of Time episode. It's just these are hunky books.
Oh, and this one isn't even the thickest, which is the craziest thing. Some of them are like 1,000 pages. They are some thick boys. But no, my next review will likely be Tourist Season by Bryn Weaver. I think I'm like over 40% into that one. That's the one I've been reading, and it's smacking me in the face at night. And it's hardcover, so I'm surprised I don't have a freaking bruise on my face.
Where'd you get that black eye? Oh, the book fell on my face.
Oh,
Just
Bryn
excuse.
Weaver gave it to me with her book. Smacked me right in the eyeball. I'll blame the author. It's her fault.
Well done. Well played.
Yeah. Well, that brings us to the end of this episode. Next episode, we will be going over religions and factions in our world building series. So yeah, you can find us at writingwithwitches.com and you can email us at writingwithwitches@gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, and YouTube as well as listening to us on wherever you listen to podcasts. Um, and we also have a Discord server, which is linked below. Um, yeah. And you can find me at all the aforementioned places, as well as author Nicole Autumn, and my website and newsletter and all that good jazz is also linked below in my link tree. There we go.
You can find me at leonaurbanskiauthor.com, or you can find my Substack at leonaurbanskiauthor.substack.com. You can also find me on Facebook and Instagram. And now you can find the Fire Magic playlist on Spotify.
Yay!
So have fun.
Awesome. Well, thank you all for listening and or watching. And hope you have a good week. And thank you and hope you come back. My brain's shutting down. Have a good night. Bye-bye.